Act 1, Scene I Verona, a public place. Enter Samson and Gregory, with swords and bucklers, of the house of Capulet. Samp, Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals. Greg, no, for then we should be colliers. Samp, I mean, and we be in collar will draw. Greg, I, while you live, draw your neck out of collar. Samp, I strike quickly, being moved. Greg, but thou art not quickly moved to strike. Samp, a dog of the house of Montague moves me. Greg, to move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runst away. Samp, a dog of that house shall move me to stand, I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's. Greg, that shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the walls. Samp, 'tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall, therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall. Greg, the quarrel is between our masters and us their men. Samp, 'tis all one, I will show myself a tyrant, when I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids, I will cut off their heads. Greg, the heads of the maids. Samp, I, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt. Greg, they must take it in sense that feel it. Samp, me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and tease. Known I am a pretty piece of flesh. Greg, tease while thou art not fish, if thou hadst, thou hadst been. Poor John, draw thy tool, here comes two of the house of. Chapter 1000, Montagues. Enter two, other serving men, Abram and Balthazar. Samp, my naked weapon is out, quarrel, I will back thee. Greg's how, turn thy back and run. Samp, fear me not. Greg's no marry, I fear thee. Samp, let us take the law of our sides, let them begin. Greg, I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they. Chapter 51, Sint. Samp, nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is. Chapter 501, S grace to them if they bear it. Aber, do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Samp, I do bite my thumb, sir. Aber, do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Samp, aside to Gregory, is the law of our side if I say I. Greg aside to Samson, no. Samp, no, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite. Chapter 1000, Why? Thumb, sir. Greg, do you quarrel, sir? Aber, quarrel, sir, no, sir. Samp, but if you do, sir, for you, I serve as good a man as you. Aber's no better. Samp, well, sir. Enter Benvolio. Greg aside to Samson say better, here comes one of my. Chapter 1000, Astor's kinsman. Samp, yes, better, sir. Abers, you lie. Samp, draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow. They fight. Ben part, fools, beats down their swords. Put up your swords, you know not what you do. Enter Tybalt. Tib, what art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death. Ben, I do but keep the peace, put up thy sword. Or manage it to part these men with me. Tib, what drawn and talk of peace, I hate the word. As I hate hell, all Montagues and thee. Have it thee, coward, they fight. Enter an officer, and 3 or 4 citizens with clubs or. Part 1, Sands. Officer, clubs, bills and partisans, strike, beat them down. Chapter 101, Tisans, down with the Capulets, down with the Montagues. Enter old Capulet in his gown, and his wife. Chapter 100, Ap, what noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho. Wife, a crutch, why call you for a sword? Chapter 100, Ap, my sword, I say, old Montague is come. And flourishes his blade, in spite of me. Enter old Montague and his wife. Chapter 1000, On, thou villain Capulet, hold me not, let me go. Chapter 1000, Wife, thou shalt not stir 1 foot to seek a foe. Enter Prince Escalus with his train. Prince, rebellious subjects, enemies to peace. Profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. Will they not hear, what ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage, with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture from those bloody hands? Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens, Chapter 100, asked by their grave beseeming ornaments, to wield old partisans in hands as old. Chapter 100, anchored with peace to part your cankered hate. Chapter 1, if ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon, to know our farther pleasure in this case. To old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more on pain of death all men depart. Exeunt all but Montague, his wife and Benvolio. Chapter 1000, on, who set this ancient quarrel new abroach. Speak, nephew, were you by when it began? Ben, here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting ere I did approach. Chapter 1, drew to part them, in the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head, and cut the winds, who nothing hurt withal, hissed him in scorn, while we were interchanging thrusts and blows. Chapter 100, aim more and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part. Chapter 1000, wife, oh where's Romeo, saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray. Ben, madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east. A troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore, that westward rooteth from the city's side, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood. Chapter 1, measuring his affections by my own, which then most sought where most might not be found, being one too many by my weary self, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me. Chapter 1000, on, many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs, but all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east beam to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove. Ben, my noble uncle, do you know the cause? Chapter 1000, on, I neither know it nor can learn of him. Ben, have you importuned him by any means? Chapter 1000, on, both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affections' counselor. Chapter 1, as to himself I will not say how true, but to himself, so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Chapter 100, would we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know. Enter Romeo. Ben, see where he comes, so please you step aside. Chapter 1, I'll know his grievance or be much denied. Chapter 1000, on, I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away. Exeunt Montague and wife. Ben, good morrow, cousin. Rome, is the day so young? Ben, but new struck 9. Rome, ah me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast? Ben, it was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours? Rome, not having that which having makes them short. Ben in love. Rome out. Ben of love. Rome, out of her favor where I am in love. Ben, alas that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof. Rome, alas that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine, O me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate? O anything, of nothing first create. O heavy lightness, serious vanity. Chapter 1001. S-shapen chaos of well-seeming forms. Feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health. Still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Chapter 500. Ost thou not laugh? Ben no cause I rather weep. Rome's good heart at what? Ben, at thy good heart's oppression. Rome, why such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine, this love that thou hast shown. Chapter 500. Oth add more grief to too much of mine own. Chapter 50. Ove is a smoke raised with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. Being vexed, a sea nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cause. Ben soft, I will go along. And if you leave me so, you do me wrong. Rome tut, I have lost myself, I am not here. This is not Romeo, he's some other where. Ben, tell me in sadness, who is that you love? Rome, what shall I groan and tell thee? Ben groaned, why no. But sadly tell me who. Rome, bid a sick man in sadness make his will. Ah, word ill erg to one that is so ill. Chapter 1. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman. Ben I aimed so near when I supposed you loved. Rome, a right good markman, and she's fair I love. Ben, a right fair mark, fair cause is soonest hit. Rome, well in that hit you miss, shall not be hit. With Cupid's arrow, she hath Dian's wit. And in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow she lives unharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bide encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint-seducing gold. Oh, she's rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies, with beauty dies her store. Ben, then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste. Rome, she hath and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty, starved with her severity. Chapter 100. Ut's beauty off from all posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow. Chapter 500. Oh, I live dead that live to tell it now. Ben be rulled by me, forget to think of her. Rome, oh teach me how I should forget to think. Ben, by giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties. Rome, tease the way. To call hers exquisite in question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows. Being black puts us in mind they hide the fair. He that is strucken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note, where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget. Ben I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt. Exeunt. Scene 2, a street. Enter Capulet, County Paris and the clown. Chapter 100. App, but Montague is bound as well as I. Chapter 1. N penalty alike and tease not hard I think. For men so old as we to keep the peace. Par, of honorable reckoning are you both. And pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit? Chapter 100. App, but saying o'er what I have said before. Chapter 1000. Why child is yet a stranger in the world? She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Chapter 50. Et 2 more summers wither in their pride. Ere we may think her ripe to be a bride. Par, younger than she are happy mother's maid. Chapter 100. App, and too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed all my hopes but she. She is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. Chapter 1000. Why will to her consent is but a part. And she agree, within her scope of choice. Chapter 51. Ease my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store. One more, most welcome, makes my number more. At my poor house look to behold this night, earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Such comfort as do lusty young men feel, when well apparelled April on the heel of limping winter treads, even such delight among fresh female buds shall you this night. Chapter 1. Inherit at my house, here all see, and like her most, whose merit most shall be, which on more view of many, mine being one. Chapter 1000. I stand in number, though in reckoning none. Chapter 100. Go with me, to servant giving him a paper go. Sirrah. Trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out, whose names are written there, and to them say. Chapter 1000. Why house and welcome on their pleasure stay. Exeunt Capulet in Paris. Serve, find them out whose names are written here. It is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his last, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets, but I am sent to find those persons whose names are here writ, and can never find what names the writing person has here writ. I must to the learned, in good time. Enter Benvolio and Romeo. Ben tut, man, one fire burns out another's burning. One pain is lessened by another's anguish. Turn giddy, and be helped by backward turning. One desperate grief cures with another's languish. Take thou some new infection to thy eye, and the rank poison of the old will die. Rome, your plantain leaf is excellent for that. Ben, for what I pray thee. Rome, for your broken shin. Ben, why Romeo art thou mad? Rome, not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food. Whipped and tormented in God den, good fellow. Serve God gi Godin, I pray sir, can you read? Rome, I mine own fortune in my misery. Serve, perhaps you have learned it without book, but I pray can you read anything you see? Rome, I if I know the letters and the language. Serve, you say honestly, rest you merry. Rome, stay fellow, I can read, he reads. Signor Martino, and his wife and daughters. Chapter 100. Auntie Anselmo and his beauteous sisters. The lady widow of Vitruvio. Signor Placentio, and his lovely nieces. Chapter 1000. Mercutio and his brother Valentine. Chapter 1001. Ni Uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters. Chapter 1000. Why fair niece Rosaline and Livia. Signor Valentio, and his cousin Tybalt. Chapter 50. Usio and the lively Helena. Gives back the paper, a fair assembly, whither should they? Chapter 100. Serve up. Rome, whither? Serve to supper to our house. Rome, whose house? Serve, my master's. Rome, indeed I should have asked you that before. Serve, now I'll tell you without asking, my master is the great rich. Chapter 100. Capulet, and if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray. Chapter 100. And crush a cup of wine, rest you merry, exit. Ben, at this same ancient feast of Capulets. Sups the fair Rosaline whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye Chapter 100. Ampere her face with some that I shall show. And I will make thee think thy swan a crow. Rome, when the devout religion of mine I. Chapter 1000. Ain't such falsehood, then turn tears to fires. And these, who often drowned, could never die. Transparent heretics, be burnt for liars. One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun. Ne'er saw her match since first the world begun. Ben Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by. Herself pawed with herself in either eye. But in that crystal scales let there be your lady's love against some other maid, that I will show you shining at this feast. And she shall scant show well that now seems best. Rome, I'll go along no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of my own. Scene 3, Capulets' house. Enter Capulets' wife and nurse. Wife, nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me. Nurse, now by my maidenhead at 12-year-old. Chapter 1, bade her come. What lamb, what ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl, what Juliet? Enter Juliet. Joel, how now, who calls? Nurse, your mother. Joel, madam, I am here. What is your will? Wife, this is the matter, nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. Chapter 1. Have remembered me, thou's hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughters of a pretty age. Nurse, faith I can tell her age unto an hour. Wife, she's not 14. Nurse, I'll lay 14 of my teeth. And yet, to my teen be it spoken, I have but 4. She is not 14, how long is it now? Till Lammas died. Wife, a fortnight and odd days. Nurse, even or odd of all days in the year. Chapter 100. Lammas eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age, well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me, but as I said, on Lammas eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry, I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years. And she was weaned, I never shall forget it. Of all the days of the year, upon that day. For I had then laid wormhood to my dug, sitting in the sun, under the dove-house wall. Chapter 1000. Why Lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain, but as I said, when it did taste the wormhood on the nipple of my dug and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy, and fall out with the dug. Shake, quoth the dove-house, 'twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time, it is 11 years. For then she could stand alone, nay, by th rude, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before, she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel, and by my holidom? The pretty wretch left crying, and said I, to see now how a jest shall come about. Chapter 1, Warrant, and I should live 1,000 years. Chapter 1, Never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he. And pretty fool, it stinted and said I. Wife, enough of this, I pray thee hold thy peace. Nurse, yes, madam, yet I cannot choose but laugh. To think it should leave crying and say I. And yet I warrant, it had upon its brow a bump as big as a young cockerel's stone. A perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, falsity upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted and said I. Joel, and stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I. Nurse, peace I have done, God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. And I might live to see thee married once, I have my wish. Wife, marry, that marry is the very theme. Chapter 1, came to talk of, tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married? Joel, it is an honor that I dream not of. Nurse, an honor, were not I thine only nurse? Chapter 1, would say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy teat. Wife, well, think of marriage now, younger than you. Here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers, by my count. Chapter 1. Was your mother much upon these years, that you are now a maid? Thus then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love. Nurse, a man, young lady, lady, such a man as all the world, why he's a man of wax. Wife, Verona's summer hath not such a flower. Nurse, nay, he's a flower, in faith a very flower. Wife, what say you, can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content, and what obscured in this fair volume lies. Find written in the margin of his eyes this precious book of love, this unbound lover. To beautify him only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and tease much pride, for fair without the fair within to hide. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory, that in gold clasps locks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less. Nurse, no less, nay bigger, women grow by men. Wife, speak briefly, can you like of Paris love? Jull, I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye, than your consent gives strength to make it fly. Enter servingman. Serve, madam, the guests are come, supper served up you called. Chapter 1000. Why? Young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity, I must hence to wait, I beseech you. Follow straight. Wife, we follow thee, exit. Juliet, the county stays. Nurse, go girl, seek happy nights to happy days. Exeunt. Scene 4, a street. Enter Romeo, Mercutio, Benvolio, with 5 or 6 other maskers. Torchbearers. Rome, what shall this speech be spoke for our excuse? Or shall we on without apology? Ben, the date is out of such prolixity. We'll have no Cupid hoodwinked with a scarf, bearing a Tartar's painted bow of lath, scaring the ladies like a croquis-pur. Nor no without book prologue, faintly spoke after the prompter for our entrance. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure, and be gone. Rome, give me a torch, I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light. Chapter 1000. Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance. Rome, not I believe me, you have dancing shoes. With nimble soles, I have a soul of lead. So stakes me to the ground, I cannot move. Chapter 1000. You are a lover, borrow Cupid's wings, and soar with them, above a common bound. Rome, I am too sore and pierced with his shaft, to soar with his light feathers, and so bound. Chapter 1. Cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burthen do I sink. Chapter 1000. And to sink in it should you burthen love. Too great oppression for a tender thing. Rome, is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn. Chapter 1000. If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in. A visor for a visor, what care I? What curious eye doth quote deformities? Here are the beetle brows shall blush for me. Ben come, knock and enter, and no sooner. But every man betake him to his legs. Rome, a torch for me, let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. For I am proverbed with a grandsire phrase. Chapter 1. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done. Chapter 1000. Tut, done's the mouse, the constable's own word. Chapter 1. If thou art done, will draw thee from the mire of this irreverence love, wherein thou stick'st ye. Up to the ears, come we burn daylight ho. Rome, nay, that's not so. Chapter 1000. I mean sir in delay. We waste our lights in vain, like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in that air, once in our 5 wits. Rome, and we mean well in going to this mask. But 'tis no wit to go. Chapter 1000, why may one ask? Rome, I dreamt a dream tonight. Chapter 1000, and so did I. Rome, well, what was yours? Chapter 1000, that dreamers often lie. Rome, in bed asleep, while they do dream things true. Chapter 1000, oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes. Chapter 1, N shape no bigger than an agate stone. On the forefinger of an alderman. Chapter 500, Ron with a team of little atomies. Athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spinners' legs. The cover of the wings of grasshoppers. Her traces of the smallest spider's web. Her collars of the moonshine's watery beams. Her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagoner, a small gray-coated gnat. Not half so big as a round little worm. Pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut. Chapter 1000, A Dead by the Joiner Squirrel or Old Grub. Time out, oh, mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops night by night. Through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. O'er courtiers' knees, that dream on cursies straight. O'er lawyers' fingers, who straight dream on fees. O'er ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream. Which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues. Because their breaths with sweetmeats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose. And then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail. Tickling a parson's nose as a lie's asleep. Then dreams he of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck. And then dreams he of cutting foreign throats. Of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades. Of health's 5 fathom deep, and then anon. Chapter 500, Rums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes. And being thus frighted, swears a prayer or 2. And sleeps again, this is that very Mab. That plats the manes of horses in the night. And bakes the elflocks in foul sluttish hairs. Which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs. That presses them, and learns them first to bear. Chapter 1000, Aching them women of good carriage. This is she. Rome, peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st ye of nothing. Chapter 1000, true, I talk of dreams. Which are the children of an idle brain. Begot of nothing but vain fantasy. Which is as thin of substance as the air. And more inconstant than the wind, who woos. Even now the frozen bosom of the north. And being angered, puffs away from thence. Turning his face to the dew-dropping south. Ben, this wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late. Rome, I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence, yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin his fearful date. With this night's revels and expire the term of a despised life, claused in my breast, by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course. Chapter 501, Wrecked my sail, on, lusty gentlemen. Ben strike drum. They march about the stage. Scene 5, Capulet's house. Serving men come forth with napkins. He shift a trencher, he scrape a trencher. Hands! And they unwashed too, 'tis a foul thing. Chapter 50, Ook. To the plate, good thou save me a piece of marchpane, and as thou loves me, let the porter let in Susan Grindstone and Nell, Anthony and Potpen. Sought. For in the great chamber, be brisk a while and the longer liver take all, exeunt. Enter the maskers, enter Capulet his wife. Juliet, Tybalt, and all the guests. And gentlewomen to the maskers. Chapter 100. Welcome gentlemen, ladies that have their toes unplugged with corns will have a bout with you. Aha, my mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance, she that makes dainty? She I'll swear hath corns, am I come near ye now? Welcome, gentlemen, I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. Tea's gone, tea's gone, tea's gone. You are welcome, gentlemen, come musicians play. A hall, give room, and foot it girls. Chapter 1000. Music plays and they dance. Chapter 1000. Or light, you knaves, and turn the tables up. And quench the fire, the room is grown too hot. Ah, sirrah, this unlooked-for sport comes well. Nay sit, good cousin Capulet. For you and I are past our dancing days. How long is't now since last yourself and I were in a mask? Chapter 100. What man, tease not so much, tease not so much. Tease since the nuptial of Lucentio. Chapter 100. Pentecost as quickly as it will. Some 25 years and then we mask Cap. Tease more, his son is elder, sir. His son is 30. Chapter 100. Will you tell me that? His son was but a ward 2 years ago. Rome, what lady's that, which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? Serve, I know not, sir. Rome, oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Chapter 1. Seems she hangs upon the cheek of night. Chapter 51. A rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Chapter 999. My heart loved till now, forswear its sight. For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night. Tib, this by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy, what dares the slave? Chapter 100. Hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity. Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin. Chapter 100. Why how now, kinsman, wherefore storm you so? Tib, uncle, this is a Montague our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite, to scorn at our solemnity this night. Chapter 100. Young Romeo is it? Tib, tease he that villain Romeo. Chapter 100. Content thee, gentle cause, let him alone. Bears him like a portly gentleman. And to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. Chapter 1. Would not for the wealth of all this town here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be patient, take no note of him. Chapter 1. Is my will the which if thou respect, show a fair presence and put off these frowns, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast. Tib, it fits when such a villain is a guest. Chapter 1. I'll not endure him. Chapter 100. He shall be endured. What goodman boy, I say he shall, go to. Am I the master here or you, go to? You'll not endure him, God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set cock-a-hoop, you'll be the man. Tib, why uncle, tease a shame. Chapter 100. Go to. You are saucy boy, is so indeed. This trick may chance to scathe you, I know what. You must contrary me, merry tease time. Well said, my hearts, you are a princox go. Be quiet or more light, for shame. Chapter 1. I'll make you quiet, what, cheerly my hearts. Tib, patience perforce with willful choler meeting. Chapter 1000. Aches my flesh tremble in their different greeting. Chapter 1. Will withdraw but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall, exit. Rome, if I profane with my unworthiest hand. This holy shrine, the gentle fine is this. Chapter 1000. Why lips two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Jull, good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much. Which mannerly devotion shows in this? For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch. And palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Rome, have not saints lips, and holy palmers too? Jull, I pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Rome, oh then dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Jull, saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Rome, then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine my sin is purged. Jull, then have my lips the sin that they have took. Rome, sin from my lips, O trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again. Jull, you kiss by th book. Nurse, madam, your mother craves a word with you. Rome, what is her mother? Nurse, Mary Bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. Chapter 1. Nursed her daughter that you talked withal. Chapter 1. Tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks. Rome, is she a Capulet? O dear account, my life is my foe's debt. Ben, away be gone, the sport is at the best. Rome, so I fear, the more is my unrest. Chapter 100. Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling, foolish banquet towards. Chapter 1. Essedine so, why then I thank you all. Chapter 1. Thank you, honest gentlemen, good night. Chapter 1000. Or torches here, come on then, let's to bed. Ah, sirrah, by my fay, it waxes late. Chapter 1. Ultima rest. Exeunt all but Juliet and nurse. Jull, come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman? Nurse, the son and heir of old Tiberio. Jull, what's he that now is going out of door? Nurse, marry that I think be young Petruchio. Jull, what's he that follows there, that would not dance? Nurse, I know not. Jull, go ask his name if he be married. Chapter 1000. Why grave is like to be my wedding bed. Nurse, his name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy. Jull, my only love, sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy. Nurse, what's this, what's this? Jull, a rhyme I learnt even now, of one I danked withal. One calls within, Juliet. Nurse, anon, anon. Chapter 100. Let's away, the strangers all are gone, exeunt. This electronic version of the complete works of William Shakespeare is copyright 1990-1993 BY World Library, INC, and is provided BY Project GUTNBRG, ETEXT, of Carnegie Mellon University. With permission, electronic and machine-readable copies may be. Chapter 501. Stributd so long as such copies, 1. Are for your or others' personal use only, and 2. Are not distributed or used. Chapter 100. OMMERCILLY. Prohibited commercial distribution includes by any service that charges for download time or for membership. Prologue. Enter chorus. Chapter 100. Whore, now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear. And she as much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet. Exit. Act 2, Scene I. A lane by the wall of Capulets orchard. Enter Romeo alone. Rome, can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out. Climbs the wall and leaps down within it. Enter Benvolio with Mercutio. Ben Romeo, my cousin Romeo, Romeo. Chapter 1000, he is wise. And on my life, hath stol'n him home to bed. Ben, he ran this way and leapt this orchard wall. Chapter 100, all good Mercutio. Chapter 1000, nay I'll conjure too. Romeo, humor's madman, passion, lover. Appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Chapter 100, Rye but me, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one fair word. One nickname for her purblind son and heir. Young auburn Cupid, he that shot so trim. When King Cophetua loved the beggar maid. He heareth not, he stirreth not, bemoveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. Chapter 1, Conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes. By her high forehead and her scarlet lip. By her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh. And the domains that there adjacent lie. That in thy likeness thou appear to us. Ben, and if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him. Chapter 1000, this cannot anger him, 'twould anger him. To raise a spirit in his mistress' circle. Of some strange nature, letting it there stand. Till she had laid it, and conjured it down. That were some spite, my invocation. Chapter 1, fair and honest, in his mistress' name. Chapter 1, Conjure only but to raise up him. Ben come, he hath hid himself among these trees. To be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love and best befits the dark. Chapter 1000, if love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree. And wish his mistress were that kind of fruit. As maids call medlars when they laugh alone. O Romeo, that she were, oh that she were. An open etc., thou a poprin pair. Romeo, good night, I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Chapter 100, shall we go? Ben go then, for 'tis in vain. To seek him here, that means not to be found. Exeunt. Scene 2, Capulets' orchard. Enter Romeo. Rome, he jests at scars that never felt a wound. Enter Juliet above at a window. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? Chapter 1, T is the east and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. Who is already sick and pale with grief. That thou her maid art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green. And none but fools do wear it, cast it off. Chapter 1, T is my lady, oh it is my love. Oh that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing, what of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. Chapter 1, am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven. Having some business, do entreat her eyes. To twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars. As daylight doth a lamp, her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. Jul ami. Rome, she speaks. Oh speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds, and sails upon the bosom of the air. Jul, O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Chapter 500, Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. Rome, shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this? Jul, 'tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand nor foot, nor arm nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose. By any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes. Without that title, Romeo doff thy name. And for that name, which is no part of thee, take all myself. Rome, I take thee at thy word. Chapter 100. All me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo. Jul, what man art thou that, thus bescreened in night, so stumblest on my counsel? Rome, by a name. Chapter 1. Know not how to tell thee who I am. Chapter 1000. Why name, dear saint, is hateful to myself? Because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word. Jul, my ears have yet not drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague? Rome, neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike. Jul, how cam'st thou hither, tell me and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art. Chapter 1. If any of my kinsmen find thee here. Rome, with love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls. For stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me. Jul, if they do see thee, they will murder thee. Rome, alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity. Jul, I would not for the world they saw thee here. Rome, I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight. And but thou love me, let them find me here. Chapter 1000. Why life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love. Jul, by whose direction foundst thou out this place? Rome, by love, that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. Chapter 1. Am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea. Chapter 1. Would adventure for such merchandise. Jul, thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Chapter 500. Ost thou love me, I know thou wilt say aye. And I will take thy word, yet if thou swearst thou mayst prove false, at lovers' perjuries. They say Jove laughs, O gentle Romeo. Chapter 1. If thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won. Chapter 1. I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else, not for the world. Chapter 1. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond. And therefore thou mayst think my haviour light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. Chapter 1. Should have been more strange, I must confess. But that thou overheardst ere I was ware. Chapter 1000. Why true love passion, therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered. Rome, lady, by yonder blessed moon I swear, that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops. Jul, oh, swear not by the moon, inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb. Chapter 50. S that thy love prove likewise variable. Rome, what shall I swear by? Jul, do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry. And I'll believe thee. Rome, if my heart's dear love. Jul, well, do not swear, although I joy in thee. Chapter 1. Have no joy of this contract tonight. Chapter 1. T is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Too like the lightning, which doth cease to be. Ere one can say it lightens, sweet good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath. Chapter 1000. I prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, as sweet repose and rest. Chapter 100. Om to thy heart as that within my breast. Rome, oh wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? Joel, what satisfaction canst thou have tonight? Rome, th exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine. Joel, I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet I would it were to give again. Rome, wouldst thou withdraw it, for what purpose, love? Joel, but to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. Chapter 1000. Why bounty is as boundless as the sea. Chapter 1000. Why love is deep, the more I give to thee. The more I have, for both are infinite. Chapter 1. Hear some noise within, dear love, adieu. Calls within. Anon, good nurse, sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again. Rome, O blessed night, I am afeard. Being in night, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet, to be substantial. Enter Juliet above. Joel, 3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. Chapter 1. F that thy bent of love be honorable. Thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow. By one that I'll procure to come to thee. Where and what time thou wilt perform the rite. And all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay. And follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. Nurse, within, madam. Joel, I come anon, but if thou meanest not well. Chapter 1. Do beseech thee. Nurse, within, madam. Joel, by and by I come. To cease thy suit, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send. Rome, so thrive my Joel, 1,000 times good night, exit. Rome, 1,000 times the worse, to want thy light. Chapter 50. Ove goes toward love as schoolboys from their books. But love from love, toward school with heavy looks. Enter Juliet again. Joel hissed, Romeo hissed, oh for a falconer's voice. To lure this tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud. Else would I tear the cave where echo lies. And make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine. With repetition of my Romeo's name. Romeo. Rome, it is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver-sweet sound lovers' tongues by night. Chapter 51. Key softest music to attending ears. Joel, Romeo. Rome's my dear. Joel, at what o'clock tomorrow? Shall I send to thee? Rome, by the hour of 9. Joel, I will not fail, 'tis 20 years till then. Chapter 1. Have forgot why I did call thee back. Rome, let me stand here till thou remember it. Joel, I shall forget, to have thee still stand there. Remembering how I love thy company. Rome, and I'll still stay, to have thee still forget. Forgetting any other home but this. Joel, 'tis almost morning, I would have thee gone. And yet no farther than a wanton's bird. That lets it hop a little from her hand. Chapter 51. Key a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves. And with a silk thread plucks it back again. So loving jealous of his liberty. Rome, I would I were thy bird. Joel, sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow. That I shall say good night till it be morrow. Rome, sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell. His help to crave, and my dear hap to tell. Exit. Scene 3. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar, alone with a basket. Friar, the gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night. Chapter 100. Heckering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. And flecked darkness like a drunkard reels. From forth day's path and Titan's fiery wheels. Non, ere the sun advance his burning eye. The day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry. Chapter 1. Must upfill this osier cage of ours. With baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth that's nature's mother is her tomb. What is her burying gave, that is her womb. And from her womb children of divers kind, we sucking on her natural bosom find. Chapter 1000, Any for many virtues excellent. None but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies. Chapter 1, N plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. For naught so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good but, strain from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Chapter 6, R2 itself turns vice being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this being smelt, with that part cheers each part. Being tasted, slays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still. Chapter 1, N man as well as herbs grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant. Enter Romeo. Rome's good morrow, father. Friar benedicity. What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Chapter 100, R keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges sleep will never lie, but where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain. Chapter 500, Oth couch his limbs, their golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure, thou art uprist with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight. Rome, that last is true, the sweeter rest was mine. Friar, God pardon sin, wast thou with Rosaline? Rome, with Rosaline my ghostly father, no. Chapter 1, Have forgot that name and that name's woe. Friar, that's my good son, but where hast thou been then? Rome, I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. Chapter 1, Have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me. That's by me wounded, both are remedies. Within thy help and holy physic lies. Chapter 1, Bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo. Chapter 1000, Why intercession likewise steads my foe. Friar, be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift. Rome, then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And all combined, save what thou must combine. By holy marriage, when and where and how, we met, we wooed, and made exchange of vow. Chapter 1, I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today. Friar, holy Saint Francis, what a change is here. Chapter 1, S. Rosaline, that thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken, young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. How much salt water thrown away in waste, to season love, that of it doth not taste. The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans ring yet in mine ancient ears. Chapter 50, Oh, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit, of an old tear that is not washed off yet. Chapter 1, Ere thou wast thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed, pronounce this sentence then, women may fall when there's no strength in men. Rome, thou chidst me oft for loving Rosaline. Friar, for doting, not for loving, pupil mine. Rome, and badst me bury love. Friar, not in a grave, to lay one in, another out to have. Rome, I pray thee chide not, she whom I love now. Chapter 500, Oth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so. Friar, oh, she knew well, thy love did read by rote, that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. Chapter 1, N one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove, to turn your household's rancor to pure love. Rome, oh let us hence, I stand on sudden haste. Friar wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast. Exeunt. Scene 4, a street. Enter Benvolio and Mercutio. Chapter 1000. Where the devil should this Romeo be? Chapter 100. Amy not home tonight. Ben not to his father's, I spoke with his man. Chapter 1000. Why that same pale hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad. Ben Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house. Chapter 1000. A challenge on my life. Ben Romeo will answer it. Chapter 1000. Any man that can write may answer a letter. Ben, nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares. Being. Chapter 500. Ard. Chapter 1000. Alas poor Romeo, he is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song. Chapter 5. Pin of his heart cleft with the blind bow boys. But shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt? Ben, why what is Tybalt? Chapter 1000. More than Prince of Cats I can tell you, oh he's the. Chapter 100. Outrageous captain of compliments, he fights as you sing. Pricksong keeps time, distance and proportion, rests me his. Chapter 1001. Nim rest 1, 2 and the third in your bosom, the very butcher of a silk button, a duelist, a gentleman of the very first house of the first and second cause. Chapter 1999. Ordal passado, the punto reverse, the hay. Ben the what? Chapter 1000. The pox of such antic, lisping, affecting fantasticos. These new tuners of accent, by Jesu a very good blade, a very tall. Chapter 1000. And a very good whore, why is not this a lamentable thing? Grandsire, that we should be thus afflicted with these strange flies, these fashion-mongers, these pardonamize who stand. So. Chapter 1000. On the new form that they cannot sit at ease on the old bench, oh their bones, their bones. Enter Romeo. Ben, here comes Romeo, here comes Romeo. Chapter 1000. Without his roe like a dried herring, oh flesh, flesh, how art thou fishified, now is he for the numbers that Petrarch flowed. Chapter 1. Laura to his lady was but a kitchen wench, Mary, she had a better love to Burheim her, Dido a dowdy, Cleopatra gypsy, Helen and Hero Hildings and harlots, this be a grey eye or so. But not to the purpose. Signor Romeo bonjour, there's a French salutation to your French slop, you gave us the counterfeit fairly last night. Rome, good morrow to you both, what counterfeit did I give you? Chapter 1000. The slip, sir, the slip, can you not conceive? Rome, pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such. Chapter 100. As mine a man may strain courtesy. Chapter 1000. That's as much as to say, such a case as yours constrains. Chapter 1000. And a bow in the hams. Rome, meaning to Kersey. Chapter 1000. Thou hast most kindly hit it. Rome, a most courteous exposition. Chapter 1000. Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy. Rome's pink for flower. Chapter 1000. Right. Rome, why then is my pump well flowered? Chapter 1000. Well said, follow me this just now till thou hast worn out thy pump, that, when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain, after the wearing, solely singular. Rome, O single-souled jest, solely singular for the singleness. Chapter 1000. Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint. Rome, Swits and spurs, or I'll cry a match. Chapter 1000. Nay, if our wits run the wild goose chase, I am done, for thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I am. Sure I have in my whole 5, was I with you there for the goose. Rome, thou wast never with me for anything when thou wast not there's for the goose. Chapter 1000. I will bite thee by the ear for that jest. Rome's nay, good goose, bite not. Chapter 1000. Thy wit is a very bitter sweeting, it is a most sharp sauce. Rome, and is it not then well served into a sweet goose? Chapter 1000. Oh, here's a wit of Cheverel that stretches from an inch narrow to an ell broad. Rome, I stretch it out for that word broad, which added to the goose proves thee far and wide a broad goose. Chapter 1000. Why is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art by art as well as by nature, for this drivelling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole. Ben, stop there. Chapter 1000. Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair. Ben, thou wouldst else have made thy tail large. Chapter 1000. Oh, thou art deceived, I would have made it short, for I was. Chapter 100. To the whole depth of my tail, and meant indeed to occupies the argument no longer. Rome, here's goodly gear. Enter nurse and her man. Chapter 1000. A sail. Ben, two, a shirt and a smock. Nurse, Peter, anon. Nurse, my fan, Peter. Chapter 1000. Good Peter to hide her face, for her fan's the fairer face of the two. Nurse, God ye good morrow, gentlemen. Chapter 1000. God ye good den, fair gentlewoman. Nurse, is it good den? Chapter 1000. Tease no less, I tell ye, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon. Nurse, out upon you, what a man are you? Rome, one gentlewoman, that God hath made for himself to mar. Nurse, by my troth it is well said, for himself to mar. Quoth gentleman, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo? Rome, I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse. Nurse, you say well. Chapter 1000. Yea, is the worst well, very well took, I faith, wisely. Wisely. Nurse, if you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you. Ben, she will indict him to some supper. Chapter 1000. Abod, so ho. Rome, what hast thou found? Chapter 1000. No hare, sir, unless a hare, sir, in a Lenten pie, that is something stale and hoar ere it be spent. He walks by them and sings. An old hare whore. And an old hare whore. Chapter 1. Very good meat in Lent. But a hare that is whore. Chapter 1. Too much for a score. When it whores ere it be spent. Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner? Thither. Rome, I will follow you. Chapter 1000. Farewell, ancient lady, farewell. Ladies, lady. Exeunt Mercutio, Benvolio. Nurse, Mary, farewell, I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery? Rome, a gentleman nurse that loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month. Nurse, and a speak anything against me, I'll take him down and were lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks, and if I Chapter 100, Anot. Chapter 1, I'll find those that shall, scurvy knave, I am none of his. Flirt gills, I am none of his skeins mates, and thou must stand by two, and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure. Peter, I saw no man use you at his pleasure, if I had my weapons. Should quickly have been out, I warrant you, I dare draw as soon as another man, if I see occasion in a good quarrel, and the Chapter 50, On my side. Nurse, now afore God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers, scurvy knave, pray you sir a word, and as I told you. Chapter 1000, Why young lady bid me inquire you out, what she bid me say, I will keep to myself, but first let me tell ye, if ye should lead hers. Chapter 1, Intio a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it were. And Chapter 99, Thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak. Chapter 500, Ealing. Rome nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress, I protest unto they. Nurse, good heart, and I faith I will tell her as much, Lord. Chapter 50, Ord, she will be a joyful woman. Rome, what wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me. Nurse, I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take. Chapter 1, Tea is a gentlemanlike offer. Rome, bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains. Nurse, no, truly, sir, not a penny. Rome, go to, I say you shall. Nurse, this afternoon, sir, well, she shall be there. Rome, and stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour, my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high topgallant of my joy. Chapter 1000, Us't be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress. Nurse, now God in heaven bless thee, hark you, sir. Rome, what say'st thou, my dear nurse? Nurse, is your man's secret, did you ne'er hear say? Two may keep counsel, putting one away. Rome, I warrant thee my man's as true as steel. Nurse, well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady, Lord. When 'twas a little prating thing, oh, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, had as lieve see a toad, a very toad, as see him. I angers her sometimes, and tell her that Paris is the proper man. But Chapter 1, I'll warrant you when I say so, she looks as pale as any. Chapter 150, Out. Chapter 1, In the Versal World, doth not Rosemary and Romeo begin both with a letter? Rome, I nurse, what of that, both with an R. Nurse, ah mocker, that's the dog's name, R is for the no, I no. Chapter 1, T begins with some other letter, and she hath the prettiest sententious of it, of you and Rosemary, that it would do you good to hear it. Rome, commend me to thy lady. Nurse, I 1,000 times Peter. Peter, anon. Nurse, Peter, take my fan and go before and apace. Exeunt. Scene 5, Capulets' orchard. Enter Juliet. Joel, the clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. Chapter 1, In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him, that's not so. Oh, she is lame, love's herald should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams. Chapter 500, Riving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12. Chapter 1, 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections, and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. Chapter 1000. Why words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Enter nurse. O God, she comes. O honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away. Nurse, Peter, stay at the gate. Jull, now, good sweet nurse, O Lord, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. Chapter 1. F. Good, thou shamest the music of sweet news, by playing it to me with so sour a face. Nurse, I am Ari, give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache, what a jaunts have I had. Jull, I would thou hadst my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee speak, good nurse, speak. Nurse Jesu, what haste, can you not stay a while? Chapter 500. O you not see that I am out of breath? Jull, how art thou out of breath when thou hast breath? To say to me that thou art out of breath. The excuse that thou dost make in this delay. Chapter 1. Longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Chapter 1. Thy news good or bad, answer to that. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Chapter 50. Let me be satisfied, is't good or bad? Nurse, well, you have made a simple choice, you know not how to. Chapter 100. Who's a man, Romeo? No, not he, though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you dinned at home? Jull, no, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that? Nurse, Lord, how my head aches, what a head have I? Chapter 1. Tea beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. Chapter 1000. Why back a tea, other side, ah, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jouncing up and down. Jull, I faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse, tell me what says my love. Nurse, your love says like an honest gentleman and a. Chapter 100. Our to use. And a kind and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous wear. Chapter 1. Your mother's. Jull, where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman. Where is your mother? Nurse, O God's lady dear. Are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Chapter 1. This the poultice for my aching bones. Henceforward, do your messages yourself. Jull, here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo? Nurse, have you got leave to go to shrift today? Jull, I have. Nurse, then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence' cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church, I must another way. To fetch a ladder, by the which your love. Chapter 1000. Us't climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. Chapter 1. Am the drudge and toil in your delight. But you shall bear the burthen soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner, hie you to the cell. Jull, hie to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell. Exeunt. Scene 6. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar and Romeo. Friar, so smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not. Rome, amen, amen, but come what sorrow can. Chapter 1. Tea cannot countervail the exchange of joy. That one short minute gives me in her sight. Chapter 500. O thou but close our hands with holy words. Then love devouring death do what he dare. Chapter 1. Tea is enough, I may but call her mine. Friar, these violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume, the sweetest honey, Chapter 1. S loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore love moderately, long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Enter Juliet. Here comes the lady, oh so light a foot. Will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall, so light is vanity. Jull, good even to my ghostly confessor. Friar, Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both. Jull, as much to him, else is his thanks too much. Rome, ah Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter. Jull, conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess. Chapter 100. Not sum up some of half my wealth. Friar, come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in one. This electronic version of the complete works of William Shakespeare is copyright 1990-1993 BY World Library, INC, and is provided BY Project GUTNBRG ETEXT of Carnegie Mellon University. With permission, electronic and machine-readable copies may be. Chapter 501. SDRIBUTD so long as such copies, 1. Are for your or others' personal use only, and 2. Are not distributed or used. Chapter 100. OMMERCILLY. Prohibited commercial distribution includes by any service that charges for download time or for membership. Act 3. Scene I. A public place. Enter Mercutio, Benvolio, and men. Ben, I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad. And if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days, is the mad blood stirring. Chapter 1000. Thou art like one of these fellows that, when he enters the Chapter 100. Onfains of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table, and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second. Chapter 100. Up draws him on the drawer, when indeed there is no need. Ben, am I like such a fellow? Chapter 1000. Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any. Chapter 1. Tolly, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be. Chapter 1000. Oved. Ben, and what to? Chapter 1000. Nay, and there were two such, we should have none shortly. For one would kill the other, why thou wilt quarrel with a. Chapter 1000. And that hath a hair more a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. What I but such an I would spy out such a quarrel, thy head is as full of quarrels as an egg is full of meat, and yet thy head hath been beaten as addle as an egg for quarreling, thou hast quarrelled with a. Chapter 1000. And for coughing in the street, because he hath wakened thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun, didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter, with another for tying his new shoes with an old riband, and yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling. Ben, and I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter. Chapter 1000. The fee simple, oh simple. Enter Tybalt and others. Ben, by my head, here come the Capulets. Chapter 1000. By my heel I care not. Tib, follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen's good den, a word with one of you. Chapter 1000, and but one word with one of us. Chapter 100, oople it with something, make it a word and a blow. Tib, you shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will. Give me occasion. Chapter 1000, could you not take some occasion without giving? Tib, Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo. Chapter 1000, consort, what dost thou make us minstrels, and thou make? Chapter 1001, strels of us look to hear nothing but discords, here's my fiddlestick, here's that shall make you dance, zounds. Chapter 100, onsort. Ben, we talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place, and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart, here all eyes gaze on us. Chapter 1000, men's eyes were made to look and let them gaze. Chapter 1, will not budge for no man's pleasure. Enter Romeo. Tib, well, peace be with you, sir, here comes my man. Chapter 1000, but I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery. Chapter 1000, Arai, go before to field, he'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man. Tib, Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this, thou art a villain. Rome, Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee. Chapter 500, oth much excuse the appurtening rage. To such a greeting, villain am I none. Therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not. Tib, boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me, therefore turn and draw. Rome, I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender, as dearly as mine own, be satisfied. Chapter 1000, O calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Alice Stoccata carries it away. Tybalt, you rat-catcher, will you walk? Tib, what wouldst thou have with me? Chapter 1000, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. That eyes. Chapter 1000, e'en to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter. Chapter 500, beat the rest of the 8, will you pluck your sword out of his pitcher by the ears, make haste, lest mine be about your ears. Ere it be out. Tib, I am for you. Rome, gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up. Chapter 1000, come sir your passado. Rome, draw Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbid this bandying in Verona streets. Hold Tybalt, good Mercutio. Tybalt under Romeo's arm thrusts Mercutio in, and flies with his followers. Chapter 1000, I am hurt. A plago both your houses, I am sped. Chapter 1, he gone and hath nothing. Ben, what art thou hurt? Chapter 1000, I a scratch, merry, tease enough. Where is my page? Go villain, fetch a surgeon. Rome, courage man, the hurt cannot be much. Chapter 1000, no, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church. Chapter 500, but 'tis enough, 'twill serve, ask for me tomorrow and you shall find me a grave man, I am peppered I warrant for this. World, a plago both your houses, zounds, a dog, a rat, a. Chapter 1000, ooze, a cat to scratch a man to death, a braggart, a rogue. Chapter 104, that fights by the book of arithmetic, why the devil? Chapter 100, aim you between us, I was hurt under your arm. Rome, I thought all for the best. Chapter 1000, help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint, a plago both your houses. They have made worms meat of me, I have it. And soundly too, your houses. Exit. Rome, this gentleman the prince's near ally. Chapter 1000, why very friend hath got this mortal hurt. Chapter 1, in my behalf my reputation stained. With Tybalt slander Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman, O sweet Juliet. Thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel. Enter Benvolio. Ben, O Romeo, Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth. Rome, this day's black fate on moe days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end. Enter Tybalt. Ben, here comes the furious Tybalt back again. Rome, alive in triumph and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven respective lenity, and fire-ride fury be my conduct now. Now Tybalt, take the villain back again, that late thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul. Chapter 1, S but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I or both must go with him. Tib, thou wretched boy that didst consort him here, shalt with him hence. Rome, this shall determine that. They fight, Tybalt falls. Ben Romeo, away be gone. The citizens are up, and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death. Chapter 1, If thou art taken, hence be gone away. Rome, oh I am fortune's fool. Ben, why dost thou stay? Exit Romeo. Enter citizens. Chapter 101, Tizon, which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer, which way ran he? Ben, there lies that Tybalt. Chapter 101, Tizon, up sir, go with me. Chapter 1, charge thee in the prince's name obey. Enter Prince, old Montague, Capulet their wives. And Prince, where are the vile beginners of this fray? Ben, O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, slain by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio. Chapter 100, App wife Tybalt my cousin, O my brother's child. O prince, O husband, O the blood is spilled of my dear kinsman, prince, as thou art true. For blood of ours, shed blood of Montague. O cousin, cousin, Prince Benvolio, who began this bloody fray. Ben, Tybalt, here slain whom Romeo's hand did stay. Romeo, that spoke him fair, bid him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged withal your high displeasure, all this uttered. With gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed. Chapter 100, would not take truce with the unruly of Tybalt deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who all is hot, turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn, with one hand beats. Chapter 100, old death aside and with the other sends. Chapter 1, T back to Tybalt whose dexterity retorts it, Romeo he cries aloud. Hold friends, friends part, and swifter than his tongue. His agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and taught they go like lightning, for ere I. Chapter 100, would draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain, and as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die. Chapter 100, App wife, he is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false, he speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. Chapter 1, beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt, Romeo must not live. Prince, Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe. Chapter 1000, on not Romeo prince, he was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt, prince, and for that offense. Chapter 1999, immediately we do exile him hence. Chapter 1, have an interest in your hate's proceeding. Chapter 1000. Why blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll immerse you with so strong a fine, that you shall all repent the loss of mine. Chapter 1. Will be deaf to pleading and excuses. Nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none, let Romeo hence in haste. Else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Chapter 1000. Ursi but murders, pardoning those that kill. Exeunt. Scene 2, Capulet's orchard. Enter Juliet alone. Jull, gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds. Towards Phoebus' lodging, such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west, and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaway eyes may wink, and Romeo. Chapter 50. Eep to these arms untalked of and unseen. Chapter 50. Overs concede to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if love be blind. Chapter 1. Tea best agrees with night, come civil night. Thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match. Played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood, bating in my cheeks. With thy black mantle till strange love grown bold. Think true love acted simple modesty. Chapter 100. Om night come Romeo, comes thou day and night. For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Chapter 100. Om gentle night, comes loving black-browed night. Give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed, so tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival, to an impatient child that hath new robes, and may not wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse. Enter nurse with cords, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks. But Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now nurse, what news, what hast thou there, the cords that Romeo bid thee fetch? Nurse, I the cords. Throws them down. Jull, ah me, what news, why dost thou wring thy hands? Nurse, ah whereday, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. Alack the day, he's gone, he's killed, he's dead. Jull, can heaven be so envious? Nurse, Romeo can. Though heaven cannot, O Romeo, Romeo. Who ever would have thought it, Romeo? Jull, what devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself, say thou but I? In that bare vowel I shall poison more than the death-darting eye of cockatrice. Chapter 1. Am not I if there be such an eye? Or those eyes shut that make the answer I? Chapter 1. If he be slain say I, or if not no. Brief sounds determine of my weal or woe. Nurse, I saw the wound, I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark, here on his manly breast. A piteous course, a bloody piteous course. Pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood. All in gore blood, I swounded at the sight. Jull, oh break my heart, poor bankrout break at once. To prison eyes, ne'er look on liberty. Chapter 54. Earth to earth resign, end motion here. And thou and Romeo press one heavy bier. Nurse, O Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. O courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead. Jull, what storm is this that blows so contrary? Chapter 1. Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead. Chapter 1000. Why dear loved cousin and my dearer lord? Then, dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom. For who is living, if those two are gone? Nurse, Tybalt is gone and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished. Jull, O God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood? Nurse, it did, alas the day it did. Jull, O serpent heart, hid with a flowering face. Chapter 999. Ever dragon keeps so fair a cave. Beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical. Chapter 500. O feathered raven, wolvish ravening lamb. Chapter 500. Espies substance of divinest show. Just opposite to what thou justly seem'st he. A damned saint, an honorable villain. O nature, what hadst thou to do in hell, when thou didst bower the spirit of a fiend? Chapter 1. In mortal paradise of such sweet flesh. Was ever book containing such vile matter? So fairly bound, oh that deceit should dwell. Chapter 1. In such a gorgeous palace. Nurse, there's no trust. No faith, no honesty in men, all perjured. All forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Ah, where's my man? Give me some aqua vitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo. Jull, blistered be thy tongue. For such a wish, he was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a sham to sit. For 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned. Sole monarch of the universal earth. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him. Nurse, will you speak well of him that killed your cousin? Jull, shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Ah, per my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name, when I thy 3 hours wife have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you, mistaking, offer up to joy. Chapter 1000. Why husband lives that Tybalt would have slain. And Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort, wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death. That murdered me, I would forget it fain. But oh, it presses to my memory. Chapter 51. Key damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That banished, that one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sour woe delights in fellowship, and needly will be ranked with other griefs. Why followed not, when she said Tybalt's dead, thy father or thy mother, nay or both, which modern lamentation might have moved, but with a rearward following Tybalt's death? Romeo is banished to speak that word. Chapter 1. S father mother Tybalt Romeo Juliet. All slain, all dead, Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure, bound. Chapter 1. In that word's death, no words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse? Nurse, weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither. Jull, wash they his wounds with tears, mine shall be spent when theirs are dry, for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords, poor ropes, you are beguiled. Both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed. But I a maid, die maiden widowed. Chapter 100. Cords come nurse, I'll to my wedding bed. And death not Romeo, take my maidenhead. Nurse, hie to your chamber, I'll find Romeo. To comfort you, I wot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. Chapter 1. To him he is hid at Lawrence cell. Jull, find him, give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell. Exeunt. Scene 3. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar. Friar, Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity. Enter Romeo. Rome, father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand, that I yet know not? Friar, too familiar. Chapter 1. My dear son with such sour company. Chapter 1. Bring thee tidings of the prince's doom. Rome, what less than doomsday is the prince's doom? Friar, a gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment. Rome ha banishment, be merciful say death. For exile hath more terror in his look. Chapter 1000, much more than death, do not say banishment. Friar, hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide. Rome, there is no world without Verona walls. But purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world. And world's exile is death, then banishment. Chapter 1, death mistermed, calling death banishment. Thou cut'st my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me. Friar, O deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness. Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath brushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not. Rome teased torture and not mercy, heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog, and little mouse, every unworthy thing. Chapter 54, here in heaven and may look on her. But Romeo may not, more validity. Chapter 1000, or honorable state, more courtship lives. Chapter 1, carrion flies than Romeo, they may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand, and steal immortal blessing from her lips, who even in pure and vestal modesty still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not, he is banished. This may flies do, when I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, though ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me banished? O friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it, how hast thou the heart? Being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word, banished. Friar, thou fond madman, hear me a little speak. Rome, oh thou wilt speak again of banishment. Friar, I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee, though thou art banished. Rome, yet banished, hang up philosophy, unless philosophy can make a Juliet. Chapter 501, Splant a town, reverse a prince's doom. Chapter 1, Tea helps not, it prevails not, talk no more. Friar, oh then I see that madmen have no ears. Rome, how should they when that wise men have no eyes? Friar, let me dispute with thee of thy estate. Rome, thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered. Chapter 500, Oding like me and like me banished. Then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground, as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave. Knock! Friar, arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself. Rome, not I, unless the breath of heartsick groans. Chapter 1001, Saint-like enfold me from the search of eyes. Knock. Friar, hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise. Thou wilt be taken, stay a while. Stand up, knock. Run to my study by and by, God's will. What simpleness is this? I come, knock. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will? Nurse, let me come in, and you shall know my errand. Chapter 1, Come from Lady Juliet. Friar, welcome then. Enter nurse. Nurse, O holy friar, oh tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord, where's Romeo? Friar, there on the ground, with his own tears made drunk. Nurse, oh he is even in my mistress' case. Just in her case. Friar, oh woeful sympathy. Piteous predicament. Nurse, even so lies she. Blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep an O? Rome, rises nurse. Nurse, ah sir, well death's the end of all. Rome, spakest thou of Juliet, how is it with her? Chapter 500. Oth not she think me an old murtherer? Now I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own. Where is she, and how doth she, and what says? Chapter 1000. Why concealed lady to our cancelled love? Nurse, oh she says nothing sir but weeps and weeps. And now falls on her bed, and then starts up. And Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries. And then down falls again. Rome, as if that name shot from the deadly level of a gun. Chapter 999. Murther her, as that name's cursed hand. Chapter 1000. Urdered her kinsman, oh tell me friar tell me. Chapter 1. In what vile part of this anatomy? Chapter 500. Oth my name lodge, tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion, draws his dagger. Friar, hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man, thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish, thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman in a seeming man, or ill-beseeming beast in seeming both. Thou hast amazed me, by my holy order. Chapter 1. Thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt, wilt thou slay thyself? And slay thy lady that in thy life lives? By doing damned hate upon thyself. Why railest thou on thy birth, the heaven and earth? Since birth and heaven and earth, all three do meet. Chapter 1. End thee at once, which thou at once wouldst lose. Fie, thou shamest thy shape, thy love, thy wit, which like a usurer, abounds in all, and usest none in that true use indeed, which should bedeck thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form of wax. Chapter 501. Gressing from the valor of a man. Thy dear love sworn but hollow perjury, killing that love which thou hast vowed to cherish. Thy wit, that ornament to shape and love. Chapter 1001. Shapen in the conduct of them both. Chapter 51. Key powder in a skilless soldier's flask. Chapter 1. Set afire by thine own ignorance, and thou dismembered with thine own defense. What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy, Tybalt would kill thee. But thou slewest Tybalt, there art thou happy too. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend, and turns it to exile, there art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pout'st upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set. For then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou went'st forth in lamentation. Go before, nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming. Nurse, O Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is! Chapter 1000. Why, Lord, I'll tell my lady you will come. Rome, do so and bid my sweet prepare to chide. Nurse, here is a ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie you make haste, for it grows very late. Exit. Rome, how well my comfort is revived by this. Friar, go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disquizzed from hence. Sojourn in Mantua, I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here. Give me thy hand, 'tis late, farewell, good night. Rome, but that a joy past joy calls out on me. Chapter 1. 'Twere a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell. Exeunt. Scene 4, Capulet's house. Enter old Capulet, his wife and Paris. Chapter 100. Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Chapter 50. You, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly. And so did I. Well, we were born to die. Tea's very late, she'll not come down tonight. Chapter 1. Promise you but for your company. Chapter 1. Would have been abed an hour ago. These times of woe afford no tune to woo. Chapter 1000. Adam, good night, commend me to your daughter. Chapter 50. Die, I will and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she's mewed up to her heaviness. Chapter 100. Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love, I think she will be rulled. Chapter 1. In all respects by me, nay more I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris. And bid her mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this? Monday, my lord. Chapter 100. Monday, well Wednesday is too soon. Thursday, let it be a Thursday, tell her. She shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready, do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado a friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late. Chapter 1. May be thought we held him carelessly. Being our kinsman, if we revel much. Therefore we'll have some half a dozen friends. And there an end, but what say you to Thursday? My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow. Chapter 100. Well get you gone, a Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord, light to my chamber, ho. For me, it is so very, very late that we may call it early by and by. Good night. Exeunt. Scene 5, Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo and Juliet aloft, at the window. Joel, wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. Chapter 1. Was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yond pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale. Rome, it was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale, look, love, what envious streaks. Chapter 500. Lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. Chapter 1. Must be gone and live or stay and die. Joel, yon light is not daylight, I know it. Chapter 1. Is some meteor that the sun exhales. To be to thee this night a torchbearer, and light thee on the way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone. Rome, let me be let me be put to death. Chapter 1. Am content so thou wilt have it so. Chapter 1. I'll say yon grey is not the morning's eye. 'Tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark whose notes do beat the vaulty heavens so high above our heads. Chapter 1. Have more care to stay than will to go. Chapter 100. Death and welcome, Juliet wills it so. How is't, my soul? Let's talk, it is not day. Joel, it is, hie hence, be gone away. Chapter 1. Is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and loath toad changed eyes. Now I would they had changed voices too. Since arm from arm that voice doth us affray, hunting thee hence with hunts up to the day. Now be gone, more light and light it grows. Rome, more light and light, more dark and dark our woes. Enter nurse. Nurse, madam. Joel, nurse. Nurse, your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke, be wary, look about. Joel, then window, let day in and let life out. Rome, farewell, farewell, one kiss and I'll descend. He goeth down. Joel, art thou gone so, my lord, my love, my friend? Chapter 1. Must hear from thee every day and the hour. For in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years, ere I again behold my Romeo. Rome's farewell. Chapter 1 will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee. Jull, oh, think'st thou we shall ever meet again? Rome, I doubt it not, and all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come. Jull, O God, I have an ill-divining soul. Chapter 1000 Ethinks I see thee, now thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou look'st pale. Rome, and trust me, love in my eye so do you. Chapter 500 Rye sorrow drinks our blood, adieu, adieu. Exit. Jull, O fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. Chapter 1 If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him? That is renowned for faith, be fickle, fortune. For then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back. Chapter 50 Adai ho daughter, are you up? Jull, who is't that calls? It is my lady mother. Chapter 1 Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither? Enter mother. Chapter 50 Adai, why how now Juliet? Jull, madam, I am not well. Chapter 50 Adai, evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done, some grief shows much of love. But much of grief shows still some want of wit. Jull, yet let me weep for such a feeling loss. Chapter 50 Adai, so shall you feel the loss but not the friend which you weep for. Jull, feeling so the loss. Chapter 1 Cannot choose but ever weep the friend. Chapter 50 Adai, well girl, thou weep'st not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him. Jull, what villain, madam? Chapter 50 Adai, that same villain Romeo. Jull, villain, and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart. Chapter 50 Adai, that is because the traitor murderer lives. Jull, I, madam, from the reach of these my hands would none but I might venge my cousin's death. Chapter 50 Adai, we will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more, I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished runagate doth live. Shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied. Jull, indeed I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Chapter 1 S my poor heart so for a kinsman vexed. Chapter 1000 Adam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him to wreak the love I bore my cousin Tybalt upon his body that hath slaughtered him. Chapter 50 Adai, find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl. Jull, and joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship? Chapter 50 Adai, well, thou hast a careful father, child. One who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expects not nor I look not for. Jull, madam, in happy time, what day is that? Chapter 50 Adai, marry my child early next Thursday morn. The gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride. Jull, now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. Chapter 1 Wonder at this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. Chapter 1 Pray you tell my lord and father, madam. Chapter 1 Will not marry yet, and when I do I swear. Chapter 1 T shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate rather than Paris. These are news indeed. Chapter 50 Adai, here comes your father, tell him so yourself. and see how he will take it at your hands. Enter Capulet and Nurse. Chapter 100. App, when the sun sets the air doth drizzle dew. But for the sunset of my brother's son. Chapter 1. Tea rains downright. How now, a conduit girl, what still in tears? Evermore shoring, in one little body. Thou counterfeit'st a bark, a sea, a wind. For still thy eyes, which I may call the sea. Chapter 500. O ebb and flow with tears, the bark thy body is. Sailing in the salt flood, the winds thy sighs. Who, raging with thy tears, and they with them, without a sudden calm will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered to her our decree? Chapter 50. Adai, I sir, but she will none, she gives you thanks. Chapter 1. Would the fool were married to her grave. Chapter 100. App soft, take me with you, wife. How will she none, doth she not give us thanks? Chapter 1. Is she not proud, doth she not count her blessed? Unworthy as she is, that we have wrought. So worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom. Joel, not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love. Chapter 100. App, how now, chaplogic, what is this? Proud and I thank you not. And yet not proud, mistress minion you. Thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds. But fettle your fine joints, gainst Thursday next. To go with Paris to St. Peter's Church. Or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carry and I out, you baggage. You tallow face. Chapter 50. Adai, fie, what are you mad? Joel, good father, I beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but to speak a word. Chapter 100. App, hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. Chapter 1. Tell thee what get thee to church a Thursday. Or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. Chapter 1000. Why fingers itch, wife, we scarce thought us blessed. That God had lent us but this only child. But now I see this one is one too much. And that we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilding. Nurse, God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so. Chapter 100. App, and why, my lady wisdom, hold your tongue. Good prudence, smatter with your gossips, go. Nurse, I speak no treason. Chapter 100. App, O God, I got in. Nurse, may not one speak. Chapter 100. App, peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity o'er a gossip's bowl. For here we need it not. Chapter 50. Adai, you are too hot. Chapter 100. App, God's bread it makes me mad, day, night, late, early. At home, abroad, alone, in company. Waking or sleeping, still my care hath been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of princely parentage, of fair domains, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned, as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched puling fool, a whining mammet, in her fortune's tender, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love. Chapter 1. Am too young, I pray you pardon me. But an you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Chapter 50. Uktat, think on't, I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise. An you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. An you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul, I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. Nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust taught, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn, exit. Joel, is there no pity sitting in the clouds? That sees into the bottom of my grief. O sweet my mother, cast me not away. Chapter 500. Allay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if you do not, make the bridal bed. Chapter 1. In that dim monument where Tybalt lies. Chapter 50. Adai, talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Chapter 500. O as thou wilt, for I have done with thee, exit. Jul, O God, O nurse, how shall this be prevented? Chapter 1000. Why husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth? Unless that husband send it me from heaven. By leaving earth, comfort me, counsel me. Alack, alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayst ye thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse. Nurse, faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as now it doth. Chapter 1. Think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishclout to him, an eagle, madam. Hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye, as Paris hath, beshrew my very heart. Chapter 1. Think you are happy in this second match. For it excels your first, or if it did not. Your first is dead, or twere as good he were as living here, and you no use of him. Jul, speak'st thou this from thy heart? Nurse, and from my soul too, else beshrew them both. Jul, amen. Nurse, what? Jul, well, thou hast comforted me marvellous much. Go in, and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence cell, to make confession, and to be absolved. Nurse, marry I will, and this is wisely done. Exit. Jul, ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend. Chapter 1. Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue, which she hath praised him with above compare? So many thousand times, go counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. Chapter 1. To the friar to know his remedy. Chapter 1. If all else fail, myself have power to die. Exit. This electronic version of the complete works of William Shakespeare is copyright 1990-1993 BY World Library, INC, and is provided BY Project GUTNBRG ETEXT of Carnegie Mellon University. With permission, electronic and machine-readable copies may be. Chapter 501. Distributd so long as such copies, 1. Are for your or others' personal use only, and 2. Are not distributed or used. Chapter 100. OMMERCILLY. Prohibited commercial distribution includes by any service that charges for download time or for membership. Act 4. Scene I. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar and County Paris. Friar, on Thursday, sir. The time is very short. Par, my father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste. Friar, you say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not. Par, immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she do give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone. Chapter 1000. I be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste? Friar, I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Chapter 50. Ook, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell. Enter Juliet. Par, happily met my lady and my wife. Jul, that may be, sir, when I may be a wife. Par, that may be must be, love, on Thursday next. Jul, what must be shall be. Friar, that's a certain text. Par, come you to make confession to this father? Jul, to answer that, I should confess to you. Par, do not deny to him that you love me. Jul, I will confess to you that I love him. Par, so will ye, I am sure that you love me. Jul, if I do so, it will be of more price, being spoke behind your back, than to your face. Par, poor soul, thy face is much abuzzed with tears. Jul, the tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite. Par, thou wrong'st it more than tears with that report. Jull, that is no slander, sir, which is a truth. And what I spake it to my face. Par, thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it. Jull, it may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, holy father, now? Or shall I come to you at evening mass? Friar, my leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. Chapter 1000. Why, Lord, we must entreat the time alone. Par, God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Till then adieu, and keep this holy kiss. Exit. Jull, oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so. Chapter 100. Weep with me past hope, past cure, past help. Friar, ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief. Chapter 1. Strains me past the compass of my wits. Chapter 1. Here thou must, and nothing may prorogue it. On Thursday next be married to this county. Jull, tell me not, friar, that thou hear'st of this. Unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. Chapter 1. In thy wisdom thou canst give no help. Chapter 500. O thou but call my resolution wise. And with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands. And ere this hand, by thee to Romeo sealed, shall be the label to another deed. Or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Therefore, out of thy long experienced time, give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes and me this bloody knife shall play the empire, arbitrating that which the commission of thy years and art. Chapter 100. To no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. Chapter 1. What thou speak'st speak not of remedy. Friar, hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. Chapter 1. Rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself. Then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame that copst thee with death himself to scape from it. And if thou darst, I'll give thee remedy. Jull, oh, bid me leap, rather than marry Paris, from off the battlements of yonder tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are, chain me with roaring bears, or shut me nightly in a charnel house, or covered quite with dead men's rattling bones, with reeky shanks and yellow chapless skulls, or bid me go into a new-made grave, and hide me with a dead man in his shroud. Things that, to hear them told, have made me tremble. And I will do it without fear or doubt. To live an unstained wife to my sweet love. Friar, hold then, go home, be merry, give consent. To marry Paris, Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look that thou lie alone. Chapter 50. Not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this phial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall keep his native progress but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to paly ashes, thy eyes' windows fall. Chapter 51. Key death when he shuts up the day of life. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold, appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake, as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes, to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is. Chapter 1. In thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault, where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. Chapter 1. In the meantime against thou shalt awake. Shall Romeo by my letters know our drift? And hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. And this shall free thee from this present shame. Chapter 1. F no inconstant toy nor womanish fear. Abate thy valor in the acting it. Jull, give me, oh tell not me of fear. Friar, hold, get you gone, be strong and prosperous. Chapter 1. And this resolve, I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua, with my letters to thy lord. Jull, love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father. Exeunt. Scene 2. Capulet's house. Enter Father Capulet, mother, nurse, and serving men. 2 or 3. Chapter 100. App, so many guests invite as here are writ. Exit, a servingman. Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning cooks. Serve, you shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they can. Chapter 149. K. Their fingers. Chapter 100. App, how canst thou try them so? Serve, marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers, therefore he that cannot lick his fingers goes not with. Chapter 1000. E. Chapter 100. App, go begone. Exit servingman. We shall be much unfurnished for this time. What is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence? Nurse, I forsooth. Chapter 100. App, well, be may chance to do some good on her. A peevish self, harlotry it is. Enter Juliet. Nurse, see where she comes from shrift with merry look. Chapter 100. App, how now my headstrong, where have you been gadding? Jull, where I have learnt me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here, to beg your pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward, I am ever ruled by you. Chapter 100. App, send for the county, go tell him of this. Chapter 1. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning. Jull, I met the youthful lord at Lawrence cell, and gave him what becomed love I might, not stepping o'er the bounds of modesty. Chapter 100. App, why I am glad on't, this is well, stand up. This as asked should be, let me see the county. I marry, go I say, and fetch him hither. Now afore God, this reverend holy friar, all our whole city is much bound to him. Jull, nurse, will you go with me into my closet, to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow? Chapter 1000. Other, no, not till Thursday, there is time enough. Chapter 100. App, go nurse, go with her, we'll to church tomorrow. Exeunt Juliet and nurse. Chapter 1000. Other, we shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night. Chapter 100. App, tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well, I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet, help to deck up her. Chapter 1. I'll not to bed tonight, let me alone. Chapter 1. I'll play the housewife for this once, what ho! They are all forth, well I will walk myself to County Paris, to prepare him up against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed. Exeunt. Scene 3. Juliet's chamber. Enter Juliet and nurse. Jull, aye, those attires are best, but gentle nurse. Chapter 1. Pray thee leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons, to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest, is cross and full of sin. Enter mother. Chapter 1000. Other, what are you busy, ho, need you my help? Jull, no, madam, we have culled such necessaries as are behoveful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all. Chapter 1. End this so sudden business. Chapter 1000. Other, good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need. Exeunt mother and nurse. Jull, farewell, God knows when we shall meet again. Chapter 1. Have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins, that almost freezes up the heat of life. Chapter 1. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse, what should she do here? Chapter 1000. Why dismal scene I needs must act alone. Chapter 100. Vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No, no, this shall forbid it. Lie thou there. Chapter 50. Eyes down a dagger. What if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead? Chapter 50. Est in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he married me before to Romeo. Chapter 1. Fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. Chapter 1. Will not entertain so bad a thought. How if, when I am laid into the tomb? Chapter 1. Wake before the time that Romeo. Chapter 100. To redeem me, there's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for this many hundred years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth. Chapter 51. Ease festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours in the night spirits resort. Alack, alack, is it not like that I, so early waking what with loathsome smells, and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals, hearing them, run mad? Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage, with some great kinsman's bow, as with a club dash out my disparate brains? Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo, that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, I come, this do I drink to thee. She falls upon her bed within the curtains. Scene 4. Capulets' house. Enter lady of the house and nurse. Chapter 50. Adai, hold, take these keys and fetch more spices, nurse. Nurse, they call for dates and quinces in the pastry. Enter old Capulet. Chapter 100. Come, stir, 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 the second cock hath crowed. The curfew bell hath rung, 'tis 3 o'clock. Chapter 50. Ook to the backed meats, good Angelica. Spare not for cost. Nurse, go you cot queen, go. Get you to bed, faith you'll be sick tomorrow, for this night's watching. Chapter 100. No, not a whit, what I have watched ere now, all night for lesser cause, and ne'er been sick. Chapter 50. Adai, you have been a mouse hunt in your time, but I will watch you from such watching now. Exeunt lady and nurse. Chapter 100. A jealous hood, a jealous hood. Enter 3 or 4 fellows, with spits and logs and baskets. What is there, now, fellow? Fellow, things for the cook, sir, but I know not what. Chapter 100. Make haste, make haste. Chapter 50. Ogs. Chapter 100. All Peter, he will show thee where they are. Fellow, I have a head, sir, that will find out logs, and never trouble Peter for the matter. Chapter 100. Mass and well said, a merry whoreson, ha. Thou shalt be loggerhead, good faith, tease. Chapter 500. The county will be here with music straight, for so he said he would, play music. Chapter 1. Hear him near. Nurse, wife, what ho, what nurse, I say. Enter nurse. Go waken Juliet, go and trim her up. Chapter 1. I'll go and chat with Paris. Hi, make haste. Chapter 1000. Ake haste, the bridegroom he is come already. Chapter 1000. Ake haste, I say. Scene 5. Juliet's chamber. Nurse, mistress, what mistress, Juliet, fast I warrant her. She. Why, lamb, why, lady, fie, you slug a bed. Why, love, I say, madam, sweetheart, why, bride. What, not a word, you take your pennyworths now. Sleep for a week, for the next night I warrant The county Paris hath set up his rest. That you shall rest but little, God forgive me. Chapter 1000, Arai and Amen, how sound is she asleep. Chapter 1, needs must wake her, madam, madam, madam. I, let the county take you in your bed. He'll fright you up, I faith, will it not be? Draws aside the curtains. What dressed, and in your clothes and down again? Chapter 1, must needs wake you, lady, lady, lady. Alas, alas, help, help, my lady's dead. O where a day that ever I was born. Some aquavity, ho, my lord, my lady. Enter mother. Chapter 1000, other, what noise is here? Nurse, O lamentable day. Chapter 1000, other, what is the matter? Nurse, look, look, O heavy day. Chapter 1000, other, O me, my child, my only life. Revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help, help, call help. Enter father. Father, for shame, bring Juliet forth, her lord is come. Nurse, she's dead, deceased, she's dead, alack the day. Chapter 1000, other, alack the day, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead. Chapter 100, ha, let me see her, out, alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled, and her joints are stiff. Chapter 51, fee and these lips have long been separated. Chapter 500, Eth lies on her like an untimely frost. Upon the sweetest flower of all the field. Nurse, O lamentable day. Chapter 1000, other, O woeful time. Chapter 100, death that hath ta'en her hence to make me wail. Ties up my tongue, and will not let me speak. Enter friar and the county, with musicians. Friar, come, is the bride ready to go to church? Chapter 100, ready to go but never to return. O son, the night before thy wedding day. Hath death lain with thy wife, see there she lies. Flower as she was, deflowered by him. Chapter 500, Eth is my son-in-law, death is my heir. Chapter 1000, why daughter he hath wedded, I will die. And leave him all, life living all is death's. Par, have I thought long to see this morning's face. And doth it give me such a sight as this? Chapter 1000, other, accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day. Chapter 1000, ost miserable hour that ere time saw. Chapter 1, end lasting labor of his pilgrimage. But one poor and loving child. But one thing to rejoice and solace in. And cruel death hath catched it from my sight. Nurse, O woe, O woeful, woeful, woeful day. Chapter 1000, ost lamentable day, most woeful. That ever I did yet behold. O day, O day, O day, O hateful day. Never was seen so black a day as this. O woeful day, O woeful day. Par, beguiled, divorced, wronged, spited, slain. Chapter 1000, ost detestable death by the beguiled. By cruel thee quite overthrown. O love, O life, not life but love in death. Chapter 100, despised, distressed, hated, martyred, killed. Uncomfortable time, why cam'st thou now? To murther our solemnity. O child, my soul and not my child. Chapter 500, art thou dead, alack my child is dead. And with my child, my joys are buried. Friar peace ho for shame, confusion's cure lives not. Chapter 1, end these confusions, heaven and yourself. Had part in this fair maid, now heaven hath all. And all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her, you could not keep from death. But heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you sought was her promotion. For 'twas your heaven she should be advanced. And weep ye now, seeing she is advanced. Above the clouds, as high as heaven itself. Oh, in this love, you love your child so ill. That you run mad, seeing that she is well. She's not well married, that lives married long. But she's best married that dies married young. Chapter 500, Rye up your tears and stick your rosemary. On this fair course, and as the custom is. Chapter 1, in all her best array bear her to church. For though fond nature bids us all lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment. Chapter 100. All things that we ordained festival turn from their office to black funeral. Our instruments to melancholy bells. Our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast. Our solemn hymns to sullen dirges change. Our bridal flowers serve for a buried corse. And all things change them to the contrary. Friar Sir, go you in, and Madam, go with him. And go, Sir Paris, every one prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill. Chapter 1000. Ove them no more by crossing their high will. Exeunt, manet musicians. Nurse, honest good fellows, put up, put up. For well you know this is a pitiful case. Enter Peter. Pet musicians, O musicians, heart's ease, heart's ease. Oh, and you will have me live, play heart's ease. Pet, O musicians, because my heart itself plays, my heart is full of woe. Oh, play me some merry dump to comfort me. Pet, you will not then. Pet, I will then give it you soundly. Pet, no money on my faith but the gleek, I will give you the. Chapter 1001. Enstree muse, then will I give you the serving creature. Pet, then will I lay the serving creature's dagger on your pates. Chapter 1. Will carry no crotchets, I'll ray you, I'll fy you, do you? Note. Chapter 1000. Pet, then have it you with my wit, I will dry beat you within. Chapter 1. Wit, and put up my iron dagger, answer me like men. When griping grief the heart doth wound, and doleful dumps the mind oppress. Then music with her silver sound. Why silver sound? Why music with her silver sound? What say you, Simon Cateling? Pet pretty, what say you, Hugh Rebeck? Silver. Pet pretty too, what say you, James Soundpost? Pet, oh I cry you mercy, you're the singer, I will say for you it. Chapter 1. Music with her silver sound, because musicians have no gold for sounding. Then music with her silver sound, with speedy help doth lend redress. Exit. Chapter 1000. Earners and stay dinner. Exeunt. This electronic version of the complete works of William Shakespeare is copyright 1990-1993 BY World Library, INC, and is provided BY Project GUTNBRG ETEXT of Carnegie Mellon University. With permission, electronic and machine-readable copies may be. Chapter 501. Distributd so long as such copies, 1. Are for your or others' personal use only, and 2. Are not distributed or used. Chapter 100. OMMERCILLY. Prohibited commercial distribution includes by any service that charges for download time or for membership. Act 5. Scene I Mantua a street. Enter Romeo. Rome, if I may trust the flattering truth of sleep. Chapter 1000. Why dreams presage some joyful news at hand. Chapter 1000. Why bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit. Chapter 51. FTS me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. Chapter 1. Dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips, that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. Enter Romeo's man Balthazar, booted. News from Verona, how now Balthazar? Chapter 500. Ost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady, is my father well? How fares my Juliet, that I ask again? For nothing can be ill if she be well. Chapter 1000. And then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels' lives. Chapter 1. Saw her laid low in her kindred's vault. and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news. Since you did leave it for my office, sir. Rome, is it e'en so? Then I defy you stars. Thou knowest my lodging, get me ink and paper. And hire post horses, I will hence tonight. Chapter 1000, and I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure. Rome, tush, thou art deceived. Chapter 50, Eve me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar? Chapter 1000, and no, my good lord. Rome's no matter, get thee gone. And hire those horses, I'll be with thee straight. Exit. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Chapter 50, et see for means, O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. Chapter 1, do remember an apothecary. And hereabouts a dwells which late I noted. Chapter 1, in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows. Chapter 100, Ulling of simples, meager were his looks. Sharp misery had worn him to the bones. And in his needy shop a tortoise hung. An alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders and musty seeds, remnants of packthread and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Noting this penury, to myself I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need. And this same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary! Enter apothecary. Apoth, who calls so loud. Rome, come hither, man, I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats, let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker mal fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath, as violently as hasty powder furred. Chapter 500, Oth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb. Apoth, such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law. Chapter 1, S death to any he that utters them. Rome, art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and oppression starveth in thine eyes. Chapter 100, Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this. Apoth, my poverty but not my will consents. Rome, I pay thy poverty and not thy will. Apoth, put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off, and if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight. Rome, there's thy gold worse poison to men's souls. Chapter 500, owing more murther in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. Chapter 1, sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, buy food and get thyself in flesh. Chapter 100, cordial and not poison, go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee. Exeunt. Scene 2, Verona, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar John to Friar Lawrence. John, holy Franciscan friar, brother ho. Enter Friar Lawrence. Chapter 50, or, this same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua, what says Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, give me his letter. John, going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order, to associate me. Here in this city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors, and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed. Chapter 50, or, who bear my letter then to Romeo? John, I could not send it, here it is again. nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection. Chapter 50, or Unhappy Fortune, by my brotherhood. The letter was not nice, but full of charge. Of dear import, and the neglecting it. Chapter 1000, I do much danger, Friar John, go hence. Get me an iron crow, and bring it straight unto my cell. John, brother, I'll go and bring it thee. Exit. Chapter 50, or Now must I to the monument alone. Within this 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corse claused in a dead man's tomb. Exit. Scene 3, Verona, a churchyard, in it the monument of the Capulets. Enter Paris and his page with flowers and Par, give me thy torch, boy, hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yond yew tree lay thee all along, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm with digging up of graves. But thou shalt hear it, whistle then to me, as signal that thou hear'st something approach. Give me those flowers, do as I bid thee, go. Page, I am almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard, yet I will adventure. Par, sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. O woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will do. Or wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. Whistle, boy. The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What with a torch, muffle me night a while. Enter Romeo and Balthazar with a torch, a mattock, and a crow of iron. Rome, give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Hold, take this letter, early in the morning. See thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light, upon thy life I charge thee. Whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death. Chapter 1, partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use. Chapter 1, dear employment, therefore hence be gone. But if thou, jealous, dost return to pry. Chapter 1, what I farther shall intend to do. By heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild. Chapter 1000, or fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea. Bal, I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you. Rome, so shalt thou show me friendship, take thou that. Chapter 54, and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow. Bal, for all the same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt. Rome, thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food. Romeo opens the tomb. Par, this is that banished haughty Montague, that murdered my love's cousin with which grief. Chapter 1, is supposed the fair creature died, and here is come to do some villainous shame. To the dead bodies I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Chapter 100, and vengeance be pursued further than death. Chapter 100, ondemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die. Rome, I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a disparate man. Fly hence and leave me, think upon these gone. Chapter 50, at them affright thee, I beseech thee, youth. Put not another sin upon my head, by urging me to fury, oh, be gone. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live and hereafter say. A madman's mercy bid thee run away. Par, I do defy thy conjuration, and apprehend thee for a felon here. Rome's wilt thou provoke me, then have it thee, boy. They fight. Page, O Lord, they fight, I will go call the watch. Exit, Paris falls. Par, oh, I am slain, if thou be merciful. Open the tomb, lay me with Juliet. Rome, in faith I will, let me peruse this face. Chapter 1000. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul? Chapter 999. Not attend him as we rode, I think. He told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so, or did I dream it so? Or am I mad, hearing him talk of Juliet? To think it was so, oh, give me thy hand. One writ with me, in sour misfortune's book. Chapter 1. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave, oh no, a lanthorn, slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Chapter 500. Eath lie thou there by a dead man interred. Lays him in the tomb. How oft when men are at the point of death have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death, oh how may I? Chapter 100. All this a lightning, oh my love, my wife. Chapter 500. Eath that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered, beauty's ensign yet. Chapter 1. Crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, least thou there in thy bloody sheet. Oh, what more favor can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain, to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin, ah, dear Juliet. Why art thou yet so fair, shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night. Chapter 500. Epart again, here will I remain. With worms that are thy chambermaids, oh here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars. From this world-wearied flesh, eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace, and lips, owe you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Chapter 100. Ohm, bitter conduct, come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on. The dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love, O true apothecary. Thy drugs are quick, thus with a kiss I die, falls. Enter Friar, with lanthorn, crow, and spade. Friar, St. Francis be my speed, how oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves, who's there? Bal, here's one a friend, and one that knows you well. Friar, bliss be upon you, tell me, good my friend, what torch is yond that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls, as I discern? Chapter 1. Tea burneth in the Capel's monument. Bal, it doth so, holy sir, and there's my master, one that you love. Friar, who is it? Bal, Romeo. Friar, how long hath he been there? Bal, full half an hour. Friar, go with me to the vault. Bal, I dare not, sir. Chapter 1000. Why master knows not, but I am gone hence, and fearfully did menace me with death. Chapter 1. If I did stay to look on his intents. Friar, stay then, I'll go alone, fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill unthrifty thing. Bal, as I did sleep under this yew tree here. Chapter 1. Dreamt my master and another fought, and that my master slew him. Friar, Romeo. Alack, alack, what blood is this which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords? To lie discolored by this place of peace, enters the tomb. Romeo, O pale who else, what Paris too? And steeped in blood, ah, what an unkind hour. Chapter 1. guilty of this lamentable chance, the lady stirs. Juliet rises. Jell, O comfortable friar, where is my lord? Chapter 1. Do remember well where I should be. And there I am, where is my Romeo? Friar, I hear some noise, lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come, come away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead. And Paris too, come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Chapter 100. Go, good Juliet, I dare no longer stay. Jull, go get thee hence, for I will not away. Exit. What's here? A cup clasped in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. O churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop. To help me after, I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm. Chapter 100. Heaf watch, lead boy, which way? Yea noise, then I'll be brief, O happy dagger. Snatches Romeo's dagger. This is thy sheath, there rest and let me die. She stabs herself and falls. Enter boy and watch. Boy, this is the place, there where the torch doth burn. Chapter 100. Heaf watch, the ground is bloody, search about the. Chapter 100. Churchyard. Go some of you, whoe'er you find attach. Exeunt some of the watch. Pitiful sight, here lies the county slain. And Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead. Who here hath lain thus 2 days buried? Go tell the prince, run to the Capulets. Raise up the Montagues, some others search. Exeunt others of the watch. We see the ground whereon these woes do lie. But the true ground of all these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance descry. Enter some of the watch, with Romeo's man. Enter friar, and another watchman. We took this mattock and this spade from him, as he was coming from this churchyard side. Chapter 100. Heaf watch, a great suspicion, stay the friar too. Enter the prince. Prince, what misadventure is so early up? That calls our person from our morning rest. Enter Capulet and his wife. Chapter 100. What should it be that they so shriek abroad? Wife, the people in the street cry, Romeo. Some Juliet and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward our monument. Prince, what fear is this which startles in our ears? Chapter 100. Heaf watch, sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain. And Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before. Warm and new killed. Prince, search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes. Chapter 100. Heaf watch, here is a friar and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs. Chapter 100. O heavens, O wife, look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath mistan, for lo his house. Chapter 1. Empty on the back of Montague, and it missheathed in my daughter's bosom. Wife, O me, this sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre. Enter Montague. Prince, come Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down. Chapter 1000. Alas my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age? Prince, look and thou shalt see. Chapter 1000. O thou untaught, what manners is in this? To press before thy father to a grave. Prince, seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, their true descent. And then will I be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion. Friar, I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected, as the time and place. Chapter 500. Make against me, of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge. Chapter 1000. A self-condemned and myself excused. Prince, then say at once what thou dost know in this. Friar, I will be brief, for my short date of breath. Chapter 1. S not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet. And she, there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. Chapter 1. Married them, and their stol'n marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city. For whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pinned you to remove that siege of grief from her. Betrothed, and would have married her perforce. To county Paris, then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from this second marriage. Or in my cell, there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo that he should hither come as this dire night to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back, then all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking. Chapter 100. Aim I to take her from her kindred's vault. Chapter 1000. Eaning to keep her closely at my cell, till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awaking, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy, and if aught in this. Chapter 1001. Scarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed, some hour before his time, unto the rigor of severest law. Prince, we still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this? Bell, I brought my master news of Juliet's death. And then in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault. Chapter 1. If I departed not and left him there. Prince, give me the letter, I will look on it. Where is the county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place? Boy, he came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by my master drew on him. And then I ran away to call the watch. Prince, this letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal. Chapter 100. Aim to this vault to die, and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies, Capulet, Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at you, discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen, all are punished. Chapter 100. O brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more. Chapter 100. And I demand. Chapter 1000. On, but I can give thee more. For I will raise her statue in pure gold, that whiles Verona by that name is known. There shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet. Chapter 100. As rich shall Romeo's by his lady's poor sacrifices of our enmity. Prince, a glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. Exeunt omnes. The end.